Hello, friends. Welcome to Daily Flow Yoga and Meditation. My name is James. Mindfulness. Hashtag mindfulness. I don't know about you, but I get sick of it. Not because there's anything wrong with mindfulness. I think it's the point. I think we are meant to be mindful of ourselves and our lives, but because it's so overused, it trends on social media. But isn't the point of yoga to bring the mind under control and to acknowledge and come into oneness? Well, in today's practice, that's exactly what we seek to do. To remove the separation which, by the way, isn't real. That's just the ego. As we unify, as we come into oneness in mind, body, and spirit. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you benefit from it. And whatever your experience, I'd love for you to share it with each other, with me. Leave a comment, like, follow, subscribe, all of those things. And maybe even send me an email. I'm james@dailyflow.yoga. I sure would love to hear from you. Namaste. So when you can, coming to your child's pose, and really any version of child's pose that you like. So I tend to prefer knees wider, arms reaching forward, but you can choose to have your thighs together, your arms reaching back, shoulders draped, or knees wide, toes apart, arms reaching out in front. So as you arrive in your child's pose, taking time to come into your breath, come onto the mat, let everything just slow down. In our yoga practice, we're going to really slow down today and focus on that breath linked to movement, feeling in an even more deliberate way, which will unfold as we go. So in your child's pose, inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Inhaling through the nose, slow, steady exhale through the mouth. And then once more, inhaling, exhaling. Make your way to all fours. Setting up for cats and cows. Stacking shoulders over wrists, maybe even just a little forward of your wrists. Feel a wrapping under of the elbows, really lengthening of the spine. And then take your time for a slow, steady inhale as you draw the shoulder blades together, lift the tailbone, lift the chin. And an even slower, steadier exhale as you tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, round the spine. Slow inhale, pull through. Everything is deliberate, nothing is hurried. And then slow exhale to come to your calf. I'm going to begin counting. We'll try to take 4 counts. So, inhaling for your cow, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, round. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, cow. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, cat. 2, 3, 4. Once more, inhaling. 2, 3, 4. Exhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a moment here, make some little circles one way and the other. I like to turn my hands over to get into the wrist a little bit. So maybe you do one at a time or maybe both and continue those little circles, alternating between clockwise and counterclockwise. And then rotating your palms to face the direction God intended, 10 fingers spread wide. Find each fingertip. So really take your time here. Feel each one at a time gripping the mat. And then go to the other hand. So there's an engagement of the fingers. And then step back to your high plank. Shoulders are just a little forward of the wrists. Quadriceps are engaged. Find a sensation of that cat back, pushing the floor away, separating the shoulder blades. And then find a little lift of the chin as you look forward. Inhaling. Exhale to downward facing dog, hips high to sky. If you'd like, separate the feet a little wider. Give those hips some space to open up. And then bending the knees and lengthening them. Inhale softens the knees, the chest pulls back. Exhale, feel a lifting of the kneecaps as the heels travel down. Inhale, bend the knees, pull the heart back. Exhale, lift the kneecaps, heels yearn for mat. They do not have to touch. Last time, inhale to bend. Exhale, find that lift. And then walk your feet slowly forward. Feel each footprint on the mat, one step at a time. Arriving in your ragdoll, hold opposite elbows, sway the hips left and right. And then releasing the elbows, roll yourself up to stand. Head and shoulders heavy so they come up last. Give the shoulders a little roll back as you arrive. Gather your hands in prayer at heart center. And take these first few moments to set an intention for your practice, a short positive statement for whatever time you have to spend on the mat. And if for some reason you have to check out a little bit early, that's okay. Make sure you take a brief shavasana before you move on from your practice. So the yoga, whatever you have the opportunity to do, has a chance to integrate. So coming to the top of your mat, feet together to touch, arms long beside you. Find a sensation of the feet pressing down as you lift the heart. A little subtle lift of the chin. Inhale and stay upright, but just tuck the chin as you exhale. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, drop the chin. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Float your hands overhead with your next inhale as you lift the chin. And as you exhale, pull your prayer to heart center as you tuck the chin. Nothing taken for granted. Inhale, float the arms, lift the chin. Exhale, prayer to heart, tuck the chin. So your eyes follow the hands. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, pull down. We will add on. Inhale, floats the arm. Exhale, fold forward. Good. Inhale, find your flat back. Hands come to shins. Exhale, fold and stay. Rise up, reverse your swan dive. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to do that twice more. Inhale, float the arms. Expand. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back, hands to shins. Exhale, bow. Rise up by rooting down. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Last time. Inhale, floating up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back, pull the heart forward. Exhale, bow. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart. Adding on, inhale, floats the arms. Exhale, bow. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, this time plant your hands on the mat, bend your knees. Inhale, step back to your high plank, top of a push-up. And as you exhale, lower the knees. They will land south of the hips. And then lower the chest just in front of the thumbs. The chin will also tap the floor. And then coming into a cobra pose, release the belly down, lift the heart. Let's stay in our cobra just for a breath or two on this round. It's nice here to snake left and right a little bit sometimes. Feel an anchoring down through the toes, the thighs, the low belly, and then lower back down once more. Inhale here, and as you exhale, send the hips to the heels, back to that child's pose. Inhale, come forward to a modified plank, tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale, and as you exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, step, 2, 3, 4, exhale, bow. Reverse your swan dive, rise up as you inhale. As you exhale, pull your prayer to heart center. We'll do that a couple more times. So I think one of the ways that mindfulness is sort of misused is that it calls to mind a separation, that there's something different between the breath and the body and the movement. And yoga means to yoke, to gather, to draw together, to bind together. The way you bind an ox to a cart, you yoke an ox to a cart. So we want to look for these all to be one thing. To me, in my opinion, that's the yoga, that's the mindfulness. So finding your feet, come back to your steady breath. First, together we inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Inhale, floats the arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, find your flat back, hands maybe to shins. Exhale, hands root down. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale, come to your cobra pose. Exhale, tap hips to heels, child's pose, tuck the toes. Inhale, come to your modified plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 rounds of breath, inhaling. Exhale, 1. Feel the grip of each fingertip. Feel the lift of the kneecaps, the deepening of the hip creases. On your next exhale, soften your knees, look forward. Use your inhale to slowly walk. 2, 3, 4, and fold. 2, 3, 4. Rise up. 2, 3, 4. Hands to heart. 2. We'll continue with this 4 count. Inhaling, float arms. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, fold. 2, 3, 4. Flat back, pull chest. 3, 4. Bow. 2. Plant your hands. Step back slowly. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. 4. Inhale, pull through to cobra. 2, 3, 4. Hips to heels. 2, 3, 4. Modified plank. 2, 3, 4. Downward dog. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, stay. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 1, 2. Last round of breath. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bending knees. 2, 3, 4. Slow walk forward. 2, 3, 4. Fold over. 2, 3, 4. Root to rise. 2, 3, 4. Hands to prayer. 2, 1 more round, floating arms. 2, 3, 4. Folding forward. 2, 3, 4. Hands to shins. 2, 3, 4. Plant hands. 2, 3, 4. Slowly step back. 2, 3, 4. Lower knees, chest, chin. 4. Inhale, cobra. 2, 3, 4. Hips to heels. 2, 3, 4. Modified plank. 2, 3, 4. Down dog. 2, 3, 4. Breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing is static. 3, 2, 1. Last inhale. 2, 3, 4. Bending knees. 2, 3, 4. Stepping forward. 2, 3, 4. Folding forward. 2, 3, 4. Rising up. 2, 3, 4. Hands to heart. 2, 3, 4. And just allow yourself now to be still for a moment. Closing your eyes if they were open. Scanning your body. Reminding yourself that you are one. There is no separation. The separation is false. We're going to make our way to the mat. Start by floating the hands up, nice and easy and slow as you inhale. Exhale, lower, fold. Find your long flat back. Step back to our last plank. And then lower the knees. Send the hips to the heels. Return to that child's pose. This time, taking the knees nice and wide. Big toes gathered to touch. Imagine there is a weight on your sternum. Your breastbone is a heavy gold bar. Every breath allows it to melt closer to the floor where it wants to be. And then slowly start to walk yourself up to sit. Bring your legs around in front of you. And make your way onto your back. Rolling down, setting up. We're going to do a little bit of flowy stuff here too. So start by bringing the feet in close enough that the fingertips can brush the heels. And then anchoring down through the feet. Feel the four corners of the feet spread across by lifting your toes. And then see if you can set them down one at a time. Most of us can't. I have a couple that want to move together still. And then feel that grounding, feel that spread of the feet. Again, nothing is taken for granted. We're not in a hurry. Take your attention now to the low back and see if by anchoring a little more in the feet, you can feel the spread of the low back across the mat. So it's not just sort of sitting there waiting for what's next, but it's enjoying this moment to expand. And feel its mirror in the breadth of your shoulders, which are nice and wide. Maybe you shift around a little, find the wrapping under the shoulder blades. And then pressing down through the four corners of the feet, begin to curl the front of the pelvic bone towards the heart, really, really slowly. So you feel each vertebra. And if you don't feel each vertebra, then kind of rewind and see if you can catch the ones you miss as you very, very deliberately make your way to your bridge pose. And there's going to be some spot probably where those two vertebrae want to move together. Again, just see if you can sort of rewind the clock and then come back so that everybody gets their moment of attention. And once you arrive at the top, slowly go back down the way you came. So this takes a lot of grounding and connection in the feet. Takes a lot of effort in the hamstrings and in the glutes. I say it all the time because one of my teachers says it and I like it, which is that in our yoga practice, slow is advanced. And in fact, I think that's true in most of life. It takes a more evolved, mature, whatever kind of practice to trust that you can move slowly. So continue flowing through your bridge poses here. I'm not going to count the breath because I would rather you focus on the spine and on that opening. And then when you arrive at the top, whenever that might be, take a pause and then lower back down. And notice as you bring your attention to each of those vertebrae, one by one. What are the ripple effects of that? What do you have to do in order to ensure that every vertebra is going to have its opportunity to peel off the mat? Now, if you have something is fused or really, really super tight, whether as a result of a surgery or an injury, that's okay, of course. But then that's something you'll be aware of. That's something that you'll be mindful of. I think as I continue my practice and I hear that word, mindful, I feel compelled to change it to bodyful or spiritful. Because the mind is really the least important part of this whole operation. The next time you find yourself in your bridge, You can slide a block or something sturdy underneath the flat part at the top of the pelvis where the pelvis and sacrum come together. Or you can hang out in your bridge pose, maybe drawing your shoulder blades under, interlacing your fingers underneath. Again, if that feels taxing, slide that block under, let yourself be supported. And if you have the block under, you can even lengthen your legs, which feels really, really nice if you've never done it. And as you steadily breathe here in your bridge pose, notice what muscles are required to hold a bridge. There's some hamstring, there's some glute. There's of course a little bit of core. And then notice what you can release. How little can you do? 2 more breaths. Slow, steady inhale. And exhale. If you have a block, inhale, lift the hips up. And exhale, we all lower down with as much control as possible. We're going to do just a little bit of easy core work. Well, I say easy, I don't know if it's easy, but keep the feet planted and just lift the shoulder blades off the mat, reach the fingertips forward. You can stay like this or you can take the legs to a tabletop position. So whichever option you chose, inhale, exhale, bring the right knee to the chest. Inhale, return it to wherever it started. Exhale, left knee comes in. Inhale, return it. Twice more per side. Exhale, right. Inhale. Exhale, left. Inhale. Soft face, soft jaw, soft breath, right. Return. Finally, left. Return, and then hug the knees into the chest. Make little circles, clockwise and counterclockwise. And then flex the feet towards the ceiling. Release the arms long beside you. Wrap the shoulder blades under perhaps. Again, if you have a block, you can come back into that supported bridge and then lengthen the legs. That feels nice to get the hips off the floor. But allow the knees to soften. Allow the ankles to be relaxed. And then if you'd like, you can sort of Frankenstein the arms like a sleepwalker. The arms are also floated. Aware of the long bones of the legs and of the arms, melting into their sockets. Finding your breath. Staying present with sensation. Sometimes people confuse sensation and discomfort or pain. We're not used to it. So it's good to have a little something going on. If it's painful, if it feels like it's pinching or hurting, if it is pain, then never stay in any posture or do anything in your life that is painful. This is a good opportunity to practice, though, distinguishing pain and experience sensation. Once you hold your legs like this for a moment, what happens in your toes? What happens in your fingertips? What happens in the back space, which is still spread across the mat or the block? And slowly lowering down one hand at a time and one foot at a time. Well, I silence my own device. I apologize. We're going to do a little bit of hip opening and twisting here, starting by crossing the right ankle at the left knee, flexing both feet. So you have two options. Option one, stay exactly as you are. Option two, thread the needle, interlacing fingers around left thigh and using the right elbow to guide the right thigh out. So again, we're looking here for sensation. So let it be active. Feel as though that left hand is pulling the left thigh down and the right arm is guiding the right hip out. And as the left hands are guiding the hip into its socket, they're also pulling the knee closer. The hips can leave the floor a little bit, but they don't need to. Now see if you can find an experience of your breath in the right hip space in particular. Inhaling. Exhaling. If you are holding the left thigh, go ahead and release that down. Keep the ankle crossed at the knee though. And then let this whole contraption sort of fall over to the left. So the sole of the right foot comes to the mat and the right knee points up. The left leg is still bent. So you're still in this figure four. We're not coming, we're stopping here for now. So still in the figure four shape, right knee is pointing up. Arms go wide into a T shape. Look over to the right hand if you're able. So this is a variation on that figure four on the back, or where we had the fingers interlaced. Supine pigeon. So you should still have some action there in the right outer thigh. Inhaling. And as you exhale, now release that left knee down. Maybe you keep the right ankle underneath the left knee for a deeper twist, or maybe you untangle your legs. Supine twist. I'm going to be here for 5 rounds of breath. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhaling. The benefit of sensation in our mindfulness practice is that it gives us something to which to anchor our attention. One more nice deep exhale, and then you can untangle your legs and bring your knees back up, planting your feet on the mat, maybe windshield wipering knees left and right a little bit. See how that feels? And we'll do those things on the other side. So crossing left ankle at right knee. You can stay here if you already have a little action happening in that left outer thigh. Just stay right here. Otherwise, you can interlace fingers behind right hamstring. And then that same idea of using the hands to guide that right thigh down, and then using the left elbow to guide the left hip out. And the arms, while the hands are guiding the hip down, they're also pulling the thigh towards you gently, and the left elbow is guiding the left hip out. Or maybe the left elbow, my experience is the left elbow is just sort of keeping the left thigh where it is, and the right thigh is moving millimeters closer to me. It's not very much at all. I doubt you can see it on the screen if you were to look. About 2 more breaths. And then, if you are holding the right thigh, go ahead and let that go. Set the foot down. Keep this cross of the ankle at the knee and let this whole contraption fall over to your right so the left foot is planted squarely on the floor. Arms can go into that T shape. Maybe you look over at the left hand. And it's that sense of grounding down in the left foot. It will help deepen the twist. And also find some more opening in the left IT band. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. And then go ahead and come into just the pure twist by releasing the left knee down. You can keep the right knee stacked on top of the left ankle or untangle them. It's all very personal, what is happening in your own body. Feel the ease of both shoulder blades. Ideally, both shoulder blades are on the mat and the heart is pointing up. And then, after your next exhale, untangle the legs if they are tangled. Come back up to center, plant the feet, let them windshield wiper left and right. Be curious about what feels different. Coming into your happy baby shape, guiding the knees in towards the armpits. Make a choice about the feet. Either flexed or they can be pointed, but make a choice. Don't let them just hang there. And flexing feet towards ceiling if that's available to you. You can thread the arms inside, holding onto ankles or big toes. Or maybe for you today, it's a better idea just to hold the backs of the thighs. And that's a great place to be. With your feet traveling upward gently, whether pointed or flexed, a sense of the feet gently reaching for the ceiling helps to release the curve of the low back and give that some space. You can rock a little bit if you'd like. Babies like to be rocked. And then release any of that. Give the knees a little hug. And make your way to your Shavasana. Not all that long, about 5 minutes. Allowing the eyes to close. Allowing the yoga to work, to integrate. When we hold poses like we did, we get into not just the muscle, but also the connective tissue. The fascia, the lymphatic system. And if that lets go a little bit, then the muscle has more space to let go over time. Because it's not like we are separate things. We are single, unified beings of mind and body. Start to find a little life in your fingers and toes. Maybe a brief good morning stretch, reaching fingertips for the space behind you, toe tips for the space ahead. Before gently and effortlessly rolling onto your favorite side. As always, taking a moment in your fetal position to feel cradled and held, supported, or slowly, effortlessly making your way to a comfortable seat. As you arrive, gathering hands in prayer at heart center, calling to mind any intention you may have set, any offering you may have made, and recognizing in these closing moments your own oneness. We seal our time, as always, with the sound of one Om, joining a vibration that is already in process, just doing so in a way that is mindful. We are Oming whether we do it aloud or not. So first, one full round of breath, inhaling fully, exhaling deeply. Inhaling for Om. Gathering thumbs at forehead, bowing chin to chest, the light that is in me bows to and honors the light that is you. Namaste. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to like, share, and follow dailyflow.yoga.